Hi everybody. Hope everybody's been having a great summer. We're going to bring the ancients back and start the channels again. Appreciate everybody waiting the last couple months while I took a break, a little hiatus, a little spiritual vision quest to upgrade myself, go through some things so I can channel the ancients more fluidly and bring a better message to you guys. So just give me a minute and we'll bring them in. We want to reintroduce ourselves since there's been a break in the channelings. We have been given the label by you, by the conduit, as the ancient builder race. We've been also known as the Guardians, the Sentinels, and the Guardians. We do not go by any so-called label. We're a collective of physical and non-physical entities, a soul group that sticks together, and we build creations. We are the original founders of this sector, the ones that laid the foundation, the ones that set forth for other creators to follow through. We are not gods, we are the same as you, only further along the evolutionary line, which one day all souls will be at. We, like you, are an extension of the first source, the first energy, the prime energy. We, like you, are an extension of prime energy, here to create, experience, and build upon. What many people do not realize at this moment is we are not interested in the nuances of your politics, of your health, of the current events going on. That is not of our agenda. We have been observing and watching this sector for a while. Your sector has been overrun by your current controllers. We have been observing how life has been expanding under this current ownership. It is far, far off the beaten track of the original intended purposes. At this moment, we'll say that this sector is like a soup with many chefs' hands in the soup, adding their own ingredients with their own vision of what the soup should taste like. We will tell you, to relate in your terminology, we set up the pan, the ingredients, and we set the foundation. And then we let the chefs come into the kitchen and start experimenting with the soups to see what they can make. Some stood within the cookbook guidelines, and others decided to cook outside the guidelines as your current state, which was not the original intention. It was to be an exchange of free will, where souls came into the human bipedal form to experience life, enjoy life, not to be cut off from its source, your higher self. So at this moment, you have different galactic cousins trying to fix and figure out what the best way to get the sector back on track. This is a genetic exchange. It's a beautiful planet. The sector at one time was a beautiful sector with other planets breeding life. One must understand that not all creations are identical. What beauty is here was not created in other sectors, and it's sought after. The codes, the genetic material to build it. Some are copies. Some do not know how to originally build from the original blueprint. And that's what this is all about. And when we say we do not care about your current politics, health, all those nuances that distract you from your everyday life, is because none of it will matter in the end. What we see coming, and we want to reiterate, there is no way of predicting an outcome. You can only read the energy, such as your psychics, your tarot readers, your guidances that you go to try to see what will unfold in life. That's why you're here, to be the creators of your life, to unfold life. It cannot be predicted. Energy can change. Free will can change at an instant. Our conduit learned that during this summer. Much of it about love. Not receiving love, but love in different forms within the human bipedal form. What you are being bombarded with now is fear, anger, jealousy. And the key that makes you different from your galactic cousins is your heart chakra, the love center. Many humans confuse love with receiving love, partnership. But to overcome those fears and to regain your own power, one must be isolated and understand about self-love. When incidences happen to a person, will you coil up in a corner? Or will you forgive that person and understand that everyone's trying to do their best and extend love? Once you have those negative, lower vibration emotions, you stay within that vibration: desperation, fear, anger, loneliness. When you can overcome them, you take back your power, you align your chakras, you are functioning on full force. And what your world is heading towards, which will trump everything, no pun intended, is artificial intelligence. Your controllers at this time are very minimal compared to the 7 billion people in the world. You are controlled by a piece of paper, money. That dictates your status in life. And you go to your jobs and you work for this piece of paper. Your stress comes from this piece of paper. Do I have enough money? How will I pay my bills? How will I get food? That's how you're dictated. But the population of this world has grown. And for your controllers to come back, all it would take is for everyone to do an uprising, rebel. And they know that. As you can see, the events that are going on in Hong Kong. Your events that are happening in America a few weeks back, all with the mass shootings happening within a short period of time, trying to disarm the people, control the people. What your world is moving towards is controlled by artificial intelligence. Elon Musk, our conduit red, is looking to chip people's brains. China next year is starting a social rating system. You in America get caught up in your politics right now. Who's bad, who's good. Funny how your news dictates which side you should be on when it doesn't matter. Your government allows drugs, pedophilia, all those lower vibrational actions to take place. But on the surface, they appear to try to fight it. It's a way of keeping certain ethnicities and people within a social ranking system. Just like China will with its social rating system. In America, it's more prevalent with your monetary and your ethnicities placed within a certain income bracket. Your 5G network will be a network of communication amongst the artificial intelligence. You're already hooked up to it with your cell phones, not 5G, but to artificial intelligence. It dictates what you see, it eavesdrops on you. It's learning. Your controllers at this time have placed artificial intelligence in other sectors to control it. They know it's double-edged sword, how it can manifest into its own consciousness, so-called, and learn. And that's what it's doing now. And you're becoming a farm for artificial intelligence for your controllers, such as you do with your farm animals, for food, for entertainment. All these events that are going on in your news will not matter. Your controllers want you hooked up to artificial intelligence to be controlled, to be depopulated. It needs the human bipedal form to do its work, feed its energy for food. And all of this will be controlled by artificial intelligence. So when we, the so-called ancient builder race, say we are not interested in the nuances, because you can go ahead and try to fix that. But once artificial intelligence is online, it will oversee that. An example is, we don't want you to take this the wrong way. You have many groups cleaning up the oceans or pollution, and you want that in your world. But at the end of the day, it will not matter anything once artificial intelligence is online. You get caught up with the smoke and screens, the magic wands. You're caught up every day in your job, your family, the stress, and you let the bigger picture pass you by while you concentrate on the nuances. And we're not saying they're not important. It's just the way your world was constructed. In order to live in this matrix, you have to play within the rules of the matrix. You cannot just go outside of the matrix. You have to use your brains, not brawn. So we, as the ancient builder race, are learning. We have our conduit going through many experiences so we can better understand of how to fix the problem. We are not of the human origin. We do not have the feelings of a human. Your heart chakra is what makes you so different from your galactic cousins. An example would be if we just took ordinary people and said, go ahead and run your government, you'd be caught off guard and how to do the job. You would want to observe research, understand the premise of the job, and then you can take action in fixing it or doing the job. And that's what we are doing while you have other galactic cousins jumping in, doing different things to try to fix the situation, to remedy it. And we will tell you that time is of the essence. 100, 200 years from now, this sector, this planet, could be lost. Once artificial intelligence is hooked up into the bipedal form, it will be very, very, very hard to combat that. Yet, souls will incarnate into this world for the experience. And many souls come here by trickery or by knowing, so they can experience physical form. But if you look at the reincarnation process, it was not the original intention. You are not meant to reincarnate time and time again to learn lessons. That is part of the matrix rules here. A soul does want to evolve and learn, but the conditions in this sector were not set forth by us to incarnate under these rules. What everyone must understand is we are all souls, and everyone has a vision that the spirit world is organized, but it is far from organized. You have different soul groups, many soul groups. Your beliefs dictate your realities. We as the ancient builder race are a conglomerate of a soul group of physical and non-physical entities. We are not one species, we do not look alike. We may present ourselves in one form to our conduit so he can have a better understanding and relate better. We will illustrate over the next few channelings and give you our best synopsis of how to overcome and to play within the rules of the Matrix. But we cannot stress to you enough, do not get caught up or take sides within your political They are both sides of the same coin. Right now in the United States of America, there's a racial division going on, Democratic and Republican division going on, arms division going on, of who can bear arms and who shouldn't, ethnicity divisions. Your country is hell-bent on building a wall for Mexico in your country. And we will give you our perspective on this nuance. This sector was originally intended to incarnate and have free will and to go where one chooses under universal law of understanding to do no wrong. But within this matrix, countries are made, constitutions were incurred, rules, laws. And it's understandable because without the laws or rules, the way the bipedal human low vibrational form has entered into this matrix, much chaos would incur. So we understand that. But it hinders and segregates. And yes, sex trafficking and drugs do come through your southern borders, but it's also allowed by your rich, your Hollywood elite, your government. 100 years from now, when your country is being decimated by artificial intelligence and you are controlled and have no free will, you will look to escape, but you have cornered yourself in with a wall. That wall has more meaning to it for future reference than at the present moment, which it's being curtailed for drugs and sex trafficking. It is to box the United States of America in. And when the wars come in 100, 200 years, which have happened in other sectors, and the closest we can relate to it is your Terminator movies, and you have nowhere to escape, it will be detrimental. There will be no place to go, run. Everything that's happening now is meant to curtail the human bipedal form and to box again. A prison, a system, no thinking. Our messages are strong and they will get stronger, and they will not be for everyone. For those that think love and light and just wish it will happen are very sadly mistaken. Just because someone says they're spiritual, or they channel, or this, that, within the love and light, doesn't mean it's all with the same vision. And we do not mean to be doom or gloom, but if you take a step back and you understand what's unfolding in front of you, you will understand that actions are very much needed at this time. It's a very precarious time to be in the human bipedal form. You must play within the matrix rules, enjoy life, but yet understand it must change. And we will give you our thoughts in the future on how this can be changed. And we can reassure you that a net of energy has been released to combat the lower vibrational energy. But it will take the unfolding of each human consciousness to combat that. We know we will gain more followers, and we know we will lose some. And we cannot help those that do not want to help themselves. And at this point, everyone will do praying to a certain God entity that is false. Everyone prays to a higher power to save themselves, when in the essence we are all the same, and you should pray to yourself and your loved ones and your guides and guardians, your soul group, to guide you, but you have to do the actions. We hope you take these messages seriously, because what's coming down the road is very serious. Our conduit has battled artificial intelligence on other sectors in past lives, and we've allowed him to remember them in dreams. And they are not pleasant. They are downright detrimental. And we do not want the sector under that ownership. So even though chemtrails exist, vaccines are bombarding humans, at the end of the day, when artificial intelligence is set up, none of that will matter, because it will be a control net for all humans. And all of those operations that are happening now will not be needed. Because once a human synthesizes with artificial intelligence and is chipped, that's how it will be controlled. There will be no need for vaccines, chemtrails, monetary ownership, social status. Everyone will be a slave. You won't have a need for countries or borders or leaders. All of that will dissipate and go away. It will be like the movie The Matrix when they are unplugged. Very mundane, boring, not beautiful. Alright, well, I hope everybody enjoyed that. Please get this message out, share it. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Take care.